Hopefully this visual will turn out. We'll see. Had a bit of an issue with my tech for a minute there. Welcome to the stream. My name is Sketchframe Studio. I am finishing up a character design that I have been working on for a little bit. It's pretty close to finished at this point. I am basically just kind of tidying up the lines and stuff. Hoping she'll come out decently, but we will see. Hopefully I'll get to the point where I can actually do some rig work on her tonight. But I still gotta do all sorts of hand positions and stuff, so we'll have to work slowly. She's been a challenge to kind of develop as a design lately. I've only had her for about 3 days, but that's okay. It's not quite right, but that's okay. It's easy enough to fix. There we go. Not bad. Oh, I might have to redraw this. Somewhere along the line I messed up, and I'm not sure where. Not bad, not bad. Let's see, does that line up properly? More or less. I'm a little lazy today. Just clean up some of these secondary lines to make them look a little nicer. Not too bad so far. Don't think I want to give her leggings, but I might. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and give her some subpar leggings. Maybe in a nice purple color. That should go nice. Not quite feeling it. That's better. That's a little better. That'll go nice with the green. don't know if it'll benefit the overall design aesthetic, but eh. Yeah, not bad. I could live with that. I might just brighten the tone a little bit. Yeah, that kind of fits with the pumpkin theme. Let's start on the arms now, and that might work. Is my voice... Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can fix it. Is that any better? Let me mess around with my mic settings here. So let's see if I to go with the Yeti. Yes, it is. Okay, let me see if I can switch settings. How's that? That any better? Might be the microphone, so I'm gonna have to see if I can. That any better? See if I can get rid of some of these extra images I've inadvertently added. There we go. Audio test. Ah, perfect. I appreciate you pointing that out to me. I'm still getting used to this microphone. So, I'm currently working on a design that I hope to be able to rig live tonight. She's technically a PNG tuber because she doesn't have a 3D form, but I want to use her as one of potentially 4 future models for the channel so that I'm a little more interactive with you guys. Her name is Vera, and she is a tiefling. She's got a very pumpkin aesthetic, but that's because the character that inspired her is also very pumpkin themed. Inadvertently. And it is the season. Yeah, it takes a huge amount of time. I've been trying at this for almost, I think like 2 months now, and it doesn't get any easier. The longer I try to stream, the more problems I find along the way. Last month it was the fact that for whatever reason Restream.io wasn't allowing me to properly sync to Twitch. And this month it's been my brand new, not sponsored Yeti microphone has been not picking up my audio fully. And it's possibly because I'm just not good at it. But I'm sure with time I'll get a little bit better at fixing this. I might try the pop filter, but I'm not sure how to set it up. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to erase all of it. Question is, should I give her bracelets or should I go with like a long sleeve glove? I want to get a couple different outfits. I've already got 2 different ear styles. So we've got, where's my ears? Got these like wonderful earring ears. And then we just got some that don't have anything on it. Oh man, yeah, I feel that. I feel that on like a spiritual level. I have no idea how some people can do this for a living and not run into issues. Like, I can't even imagine, especially the people who have to use like full on like gaming rigs to be able to stream. Like, I have 3 monitors that I work from. I have a Cintiq 22, I've got in like 2 regular monitors, and I keep track of my comment section on my phone. And I'm like, even just doing that is tedious. I can't imagine trying to stream like some super interactive game and being able to actually keep track of the chats, let alone whether or not the actual stream will work. From what I hear, like, my average time for like the buffering between when I actually speak and when it comes up on YouTube is like 10 seconds ish. Not sure if that's still the case, but like, I can't imagine how it must be for other people who have like high end systems that are still buffering so slowly. Because this is just like the free version of OBS, which I think like everybody uses. That could work. That design idea could work. Let me see if I can find some Pinterest inspiration, because a lot of my designs for my characters come from like bits and pieces of Pinterest stuff that I think are interesting. Not to say like I combine things or I take color palette ideas. Like this outfit is a little bit more original, but I've been inspired lately by like the aesthetic of skirts that just hook around the back on a little tag, and I think that's like a pretty neato style. See if I can find the reference image. I would love to do something ridiculous, like just give her this giant monarch hat as an option, just for the lulz of it. But I'm not sure yet. I do plan on giving her an archangel form, because I have this ridiculously stupid backstory for her that I'm hoping to kind of eventually bring together. We'll start with the base arm. I know I'm going to have to draw the hands separately, so we'll have to figure that out. Yeah, I've noticed that for some of them. Oh man, I don't know how you get to that point. I'm just like some person who's like drawing on the internet, trying to sometimes teach tutorials, other times I'm just here doodling and chatting. Man, it'd be so cool to have like a small mini team. One day when I'm not just vibing. Yeah, but that could work. A big top hat for no reason could work. It doesn't really fit her aesthetic, because she's very... Like, if I'm gonna give her a hat, it'd probably be more like a witch aesthetic hat, like, let's see if I can find a good example. Because I don't want to lean too much on, like, fairy style, because it'll be too much clutter. But maybe something like... Oh no. Oh no, don't do this to me, computer. Don't send me to TikTok. What are you doing? I just had a pretty hat, and now it sent me to the wrong website. I'll do some, like, pose sketches with her after. And welcome to the people over on Twitch who are joining us. Where did that hat go? It's gonna bug me now. I can't seem to find the cute little mushroom hat that I saw. It was so cute. Like, I'm seeing general mushroom hats. Oh, there it is. Wouldn't it be so adorable if she had something like this? That's pretty clever, not gonna lie. You can't see the image? Oh no, hold on. It's one of these things. Oh no! Add image. Display capture. Display 2. There we go. Can you see it now? Man, that means you missed the other picture too. I had this cute little monarch hat. I'll see if I can find it still and pull it up next to it. That's a shame. Where'd the little monarch hat go? There it is. I think it's super neato. Super cute. Pull it up on screen. Where'd it go? I have a weird obsession with putting butterfly patterns on stuff. But like, imagine something like this. Or like the mushroom hat that's beside it. Either of these could be super cute on her. Stable diffusion. I'm gonna save these so I can come back to it. So how's your day going? I forgot to ask in all of my excitement to start designing stuff. How are you doing, man? You know, that's the funny thing. I was pitching to my dungeon master for my campaign that wouldn't it be hilarious if I broke like 2 rules for D&D and made her half celestial? I don't know what subrace of celestial, but some form of like tiefling celestial mix. I think it would be funny. You know what? I'm not doing too bad. It's been a bit of a slow day overall, but it's been pretty good. I think what I'll do is duplicate these arms so that it's easier for me to, oh no. So it's easier for me to just copy paste them and not have to worry too much. I've been slowly creating an actual schedule for this. I missed last week because I was out. But I've been trying to do this every Saturday and Wednesday. And slowly but surely I'm kind of getting the hang of it. And it's been getting more, I guess, what would the word be? I guess the word I'm looking for is like, I'm enjoying the process of actually setting up the stream a little bit more, despite my grievances with the glitches. I get to meet lots of cool people like you. Welcome to the additional 2 people over on Twitch. You know what? It's funny. I'm actually not bad at hands as long... With the stipulation is as long as I don't have to foreshorten them. The moment I foreshorten the hands, everybody suffers. I'm going to have to make a separate layer for it, I think. Oh, so foreshortening is like when an object moves closer to the camera. Here, I'll show you with a Google search. Don't mind my inability to spell. I've never been good at it. Photography. So, like, it's the act of having something closer to the camera than everything else. Yeah, it's basically a subcategory of perspective. Welcome to the other person who joined us. Oh, this is great. We got 2 friendos here. So for me, my issue was like when, see if I can find a good example, like when hands get all weird like this, where they're like leaning too close to the camera, and I can't like discernibly figure out where they start and the arm stops. You'd think it'd be easy, but it's really not, because it's like, look at this. It's like one big mushed up shape. And I have like a visual issue as a whole. Like I have a medical condition that I'm still trying to recover from, which may or may not be recovered from, that causes my eyes to inadvertently double or triple everything that I'm looking at. Oh no! There. See how it's all mushed together? I can't stand doing poses like this. I'm wondering if it's glitching, actually. But it's just like this way that the hand kind of blurbs everything together. I can never get it quite right. I'm going to actually just see if I can fix this so you guys can always see what's on my monitor. I think I might have it set up to just be showing what's on Photoshop. But foreshortening is terrible. Like, kudos to people who understand how to do this. But, like, I have never been able to. Are you able to see it? I'm not sure. There's a funky pose. That'll give you a bit of a mind trip there. Don't know why it's labeled under blue hair other than the obvious, but it's interesting enough. No worries. I will be right here doodling away. Welcome back. Nope. I had it muted briefly just because I figured you weren't here, so I didn't know if I really wanted to necessarily have the awkward sounds of the clicks and the motions. Because at the moment, the people over on Twitch seem to have dropped off, which is fine. Let me know if you can hear me now, though, because I'm going to keep my mic on for the rest of the time. Might put some copyright-free music on. I'm not quite sure because it kind of drives me crazy. But I'm on sleeve 1 of what might be 4 fashion choices that I'll put together. So I've got the bare arm, I've got this basic sleeve arm, and that's basically all you've missed at this point. Her aesthetic is not looking too bad overall. I'll zoom out. Feels pretty plain, and I think I don't mind it. It's looking good overall. I might give her shoes, but she's gonna be like a waist up kind of VTuber, so I don't know. Maybe for the sake of me having maybe for the sake of me having something to reference in the future. That's a fair point. I just hate copyright-free music because it's so boring. So I try to listen to stuff in the background of my streams, but 9 times out of 10, the copyright system kind of picks up on it. And then I'm like, oh no, copyright strikes. So I've been fiddling around trying to figure out how to balance my need for noise in the background with my ability to create good content for you guys and keep it engaging. These need a folder. They'll change soon-ish. I have somebody working on original music for you guys, but we're not at that point yet, so I've got to figure out how to do things. Oh man. If that's the case, I better make sure that I'm using the right character. Sounds like it's more of a varicose job than a Vera job. Do I have a photo of him? I have one somewhere. He's like the icon for my channel right now. Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, I have a tendency to listen to music that correlates to whatever is going on with the character's personality. I sometimes will leave a link to the playlist that I'm listening to for the characters. But 8-bit, 12-bit music doesn't really fit the aesthetic a lot of the time of what I'm doing. And all the other generic stuff I type in, like copyright-free jazz music, doesn't always work either. So I've got someone making some really radical music for me right now that should be ready in a couple of months. That's completely original music for this channel specifically. And that'll be tons of fun. By that point, all 3 of my VTubers will be ready. Varicose will be the one I probably use the most. Then maybe Vera, and I have plans for turning Drip into a VTuber. Where is his design? But I haven't gotten to that point yet. He's here somewhere. Bear with me. I probably have a full body of him somewhere that isn't agitating to look at. I guess I just have the animated clips right now. That's a shame, but that's kind of what he looks like. He's an anthropomorphic, OBS has a way to do that, but I'm not sure what that way is. I've only so far managed to figure out how to get desktop audio, mic audio, and suppression of background noise. I'll figure it out eventually. Maybe I'll look up more tutorials or something. But, so he is a cat-like cartoon character that will probably be the third VTuber eventually. Who knows? Maybe I'll make like a whole thing. Yeah. I'm actually a storyboarder for a couple different studios. So a lot of what I do, these are like personal animations that I used for my demo reel. There's no sound to them. See if I can get it to play. So I can drag it, so I can drag it in. There's no sound to this. I haven't added dialogue yet, but it's a storyboard that I've been working on. I mean, it might as well be. It was inspired by Cats Don't Dance and Tex Avery style animation. So I have a lot of like retro character theming going on. I just really like having characters that can do cool stuff like squash and stretch. So I wanted a character that could use its tail as a hand, because I think that's just neato. So this one is one that's in progress. Like I said, no audio, but it's coming along pretty well. I've got a few of these. Most of the ones I use for my own boarding. Oh, welcome to the other person who joined us. The stuff I use for my storyboarding is often like very, very basic stuff. At least when I'm not doing stuff for the studios that I work with. I probably have a clip of the one that I'm kind of working on presently. I'm not allowed to share the stuff that I do for work online. But somewhere in here I have some good... I guess it depends what you want to see. I've got samples from like when I was way back in college. I've got like test animation that's never been finished. There's some 3D stuff in here, like some builds. Stuff like that. I haven't got anything on the screen, by the way. I'm looking through a folder on my fourth screen. Oh no, they left. The company I work for allows me to share stuff that I've created only if the episode is already aired. The episode hasn't aired yet, so I'm not allowed to show it yet. But once it has, I definitely will be putting it all over my profile pages and stuff, because I'm pretty proud of it. I have to double check my contract and see if it's like a month after, or... But I'm working on a show that's, I can't say much, but I can say that it is a Netflix show that is from a Canadian studio. And it's in its technically second season, moving on to its third season. I am working on, I don't know if my contract will allow me to say it right now. I am working on I'll do a workaround, and if you guess it right, I'll tell you. I'm currently working on a show that is aimed towards young children in the demographic of 5 to 11, and it's a huge merchandising like show as a whole, and it features quite a lot of characters that have abilities like flight and out of control magic and very poorly conceived plot lines. I don't want to say that. It's a good plot. It's just not well written. Somewhat ironically, the show that I work on, and I'm only using workarounds because I don't know if I'm allowed to say in the contract because the episode hasn't aired yet. But I will say it's a 3D show on Netflix that got quite a lot of attention towards the beginning of the year because it is part of a new generation of a previously existing property. And I am one of the storyboarders on that show. I know it's kind of working around it. I feel bad that I have to, but I have to check my contract later on about if I can even mention it. You'd be surprised. Children's television is changing very, very rapidly, but it's usually in the preteen demographic. Oh no, hell no. I'm not working on Owl House. It's not a Disney production, and it's not a Nickelodeon. Yeah, no, it's not a Nickelodeon production either. It's completely in 3D. It has a contemporary show on YouTube every week that I'm not a part of, but exists, I guess. I'm trying to think of other ways I can describe it. The CGI is kind of lackluster, but I mean, it's Netflix, so I don't know how much I can say about the budget of what's going on, but it's not our fault, I'll say that much. There's usually at least one song per episode, and each episode runs at about 22 minutes length. They're very basic plots, but they're trying their best to incorporate an overarching narrative. It currently has one movie out, and I guess if you want to count Chapter 1 as its own season, it's technically Chapter 1 is out. Chapter 2 consists of 8 episodes. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to recommend the show. Its older versions are better, and while we're working towards having it actually be good, oh no, a little bit, that was an indie project. I think that is not quite it. It is a, like, I hate using this term, but it was originally conceived, the show that I work on, as a show intended for a young girl audience. Which is, like, I hate using that, because I don't personally believe in gendered programming, but it used to be a thing, so here we are. It would technically be classed as, like, a campy comedy with very simple life lessons that are slowly building on the characters' dynamics, but they're not exactly what I would consider the strongest dynamics between characters. I'm trying to think of how else. I wish Windows wouldn't do this, where it just pops up this stupid box every few minutes. Welcome to the stream. How else can I describe the show? Because I don't have my NDA in front of me, because I'm afraid I'll accidentally leak the NDA form. How do I word this? The show has a tendency to lean towards the fantastical and is probably closest contemporary as far as, like, ownership, as it is a Hasbro product. I'm going to add more arms. We could use a few more arms. I'll let you guess, because legally, like I said, I don't have my NDA in front of me. And I don't want to do anything. Yeah. I will announce it once the episode airs on my channel, so that I can actually share the so far 15 minutes that I've worked on this particular episode. But for right now, I apologize, I really can't say much more. I will say, though, that I'm very happy to be working in the industry I am. I thought going in that it would be a lot more emotionally stressful. In other studios that I've worked for, yeah, it has been a little bit. But I lucked out, because being a part of the rebirth of the industry, or the growth of the industry, in the middle of the pandemic, resulted in a lot of people relying on, like, animation to fill the gap where live media couldn't. Mind you, that's led to issues now that there's no longer a pandemic. But if I talk about industry stuff, it's going to get weird in here, because it's like, a big pushing point for a lot of people about what's currently going on in the field. You know, there's about 4 sectors that are kind of all upsetty spaghetti about stuff. I think we'll make this one a little bit more tight. I'm very excited to share it with you guys, so I will definitely keep you all posted. If you don't follow me on Twitter, that'll be the first place to get updates on everything regarding my, like, streaming and the jobs that I do. Who is texting me? It is like 11 at night. I wouldn't really call it, I wouldn't really call it drama. It's more like the industry isn't treating people right, and we're trying to fight for the ability to be able to actually be treated a little bit more fairly. But, you know, my particular studio is fantastic, so I've not had any issues. But I support those who are trying to make things a little bit nicer for the rest of us. Let me know how it goes, because I haven't been really keeping up with it. There's quite a few shows that I'm, like, not really in the loop with at the moment. Probably because I'm currently just watching the Cuphead show as a passive thing. I feel like this is an ugly color scheme. Like, it gives off pumpkin vibes, but it doesn't give off, like super duper pumpkin vibes. I don't know. I'll be honest, I have not. It's one of those things that you mean to watch and then you kind of just hear too much about it, so you think everything's been spoiled for you. Oh, yes. I watched, like, bits and pieces as a child. But like I said, it was one of those shows that I kind of only have passively watched because of the country that I live in. It was one of the shows that wasn't really well syndicated up here. So it didn't really make it past its, like, I would say first 20 episodes tops. And because it was stuck in between Canadian syndication, you never, if there was an overarching story, I had to hear about it online. So I would say I know of it. I've maybe watched 2 or 3 episodes and a couple reviews online about, you know, the creating of it and how it came to be as a show, which is a fascinating story in of itself. I do think I watched the original short, but as far as the actual main series, I think I've only seen a handful of episodes. I grew up with, like, 16 and Total Drama Island and, like, Ooh, my brain is flooding back with like different Canadian. Yvonne of the Yukon was another one that was up here. I don't suggest you look it up because I think retrospectively it was kind of not a great show. It shouldn't have aired to begin with. Should appetize the children would be watching. Yeah. I can't speak for other countries. I just know Canadians have to deal with what is called, I believe, the 75-30 split or the 75-25 split, where majority of our program has to be produced here in Canada. Anything, how do I put it? Our television and radio media has to be on a program schedule of 75% of it was produced or collaborated here in Canada, and then the other half, or 25%, I think it was 25%, can be from anywhere, and only the best of the best, or what was paid for with the highest bid, got in. So, like, we didn't get Sailor Moon for, like, years, even though it was huge in the US. Not really my thing, but, like, as a point of reference. The shows we got were mostly off-the-rail zany comedies that were produced by a little channel known as NVIDIA Entertainment. I hope it happens, because I think majority of shows, as long as the creator is at the helm, end up being pretty good reboots. Not all the time, but a vast majority of when a creator is still involved, it ends up being that way. Okay, we have stripy arm. Now I can cheat the system. Whoops. Now I can... Whoops. Copy. Flip everything. Now I can go like this. I don't know if I like those arms, but they're not too bad. I really hate when there's like spam bots in here, but I'm on Restream and I gotta jump all the way to YouTube to try to break that out. Hold on. Let me try to get rid of that for you. Should be able to go to my dashboard. I gotta figure out how to get rid of it. Oh no. It came in earlier because it accidentally saw that I had initially designed this character as like a character I could switch tops with, and I think it sent something. I think we got it. Did we get it? The comment's gone now. Welcome. Oh, they left. I was gonna say welcome to the stream, but that like came on and off so fast. You know, I heard something about other projects that are kind of similar to this, where it's like, don't mind my yawn, where it's like the creator kind of passively knew of it, and then the networks are actually pushing for a reboot. I knew that was the case with the Courage the Cowardly Dog reboot that was discussed, that he had, you know, had been told that it was going to happen, and then they pushed for it, and as soon as, well, I don't know how much of the HBO Max debacle had to do with that, but the last Courage the Cowardly Dog piece of information we got, he had zero involvement with. That was the really stupid Scooby-Doo crossover. And, like, I don't know, I feel like when projects have this sort of situation, oh, that's fair. That's fair. I had no idea that was a thing people do, and I don't know how, generally speaking, I actually need to attract attention beyond me just talking. I think we'll get started on some hands. I don't think this is looking too bad. Then I can get working on a tail design. Label the arm back. Let's see. That's fair. I'm working my way to trying to get more people interested in this, so I'm willing to try to figure out how to set all of this up. Like, I just kind of sit here and talk. And I'm sure there are streamers who do that people enjoy their company. I'm just the kind of person who it's like, unless there's engagement on the actual channel, if there's not people actually talking in the chat room, I end up accidentally being silent. It's so nice to see people that are actually willing to engage with smaller creators. I had this weird thought in my head that maybe it wasn't the case, that people just went to the larger streamers, but you know, I honestly just enjoy the fact that I can sit here and talk to people and hang out with them and get to know them as, like, I don't want to say friends, but like, yeah, y'all are like buds as far as I'm concerned. I need a nickname for, like, the people who watch my streams. Maybe, like, the Inkwells. So still, I don't know if that's still copyrighted, but maybe I'll call y'all the Inkwells. I use y'all because there are 4 people on the Twitch stream right now. No, like Inkwells. There was an old animation series that you can find probably on YouTube because it came back in like the 1930s and 40s. No, I'm still here. My audio might have cut out for a sec though. There was a program in the 1930s and 40s that was called like the Inkwell. I think what was his name? Bobo the Clown and the Inkwells. I'll pull up a photo. It's not a very popular show because it's a very old show, but it was one of the first shows to ever use a technique called rotoscoping. And rotoscoping is when you take live action footage and you draw over top of it. I'll pull up a photo. So the term has been, for a great number of reasons, the term inkwell has come out as a sort of catch-all term for a character that interacts with the audience directly, but at the same time, it also refers to this particular old series of shorts. Oh, I didn't realize it's actually 1918. That was a series called Out of the Inkwell, which was one of the first really popular animated series to kind of air in its time. I need to pull up the photo. I haven't found it yet. Yeah, rotoscoping is like not a very well used technique. Oh, it was beyond fourth wall break. You know what? Let's take an out of the inkwell. I'll show you a sample, because this can't be copyrighted because it's past copyright. So this is a series that by and large focused on the small ink character that would come out of the inkwell and interact with people around him. And usually the animator would interfere with them. I'll see if the audio will play. I don't think I'll get copyright struck for it. Yeah, it was considered one of the exceptional animations of the time. And this was right before Walt came out with Mickey Mouse and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Oswald might have been out the year before, but he was just about to exit. So this was like the big thing at the time. Dave Fleischer would go on to create some very iconic characters after this. Just the fact that he managed to do this. And Dave Fleischer himself has a pretty big name in the animation industry as far as like what he achieved in these early years. But just the fact he managed to create perspective where there hadn't been before, which really wasn't a thing. I've seen some of his stuff. I feel like he was the guy behind Animation vs. Animator, but I might be wrong. And I find like in different online spaces, or different spaces in general in different time periods, we slowly kind of get to see the evolution of a medium. So where this was not really something that happened at this time period, the intermingling of 2D and 3D is more common now in its place. And just the same as a lot of the evolution of internet culture and animation on the internet formed from those earlier creators on Newgrounds, we can continue to see things grow more and evolve. You know, we're past the days of Happy Tree Friends, but from Happy Tree Friends, a lot of interesting things ended up growing and developing into their own shows. It wasn't one of them, but there were plenty of interesting ideas that the new generation, or I guess partially my generation, will grow up inspired by. And that's the incredible thing, really. Something like this will go on to inspire a lot of great shows. And in fact, this was the inspiration behind one of Warner Brothers' most famous shorts called Duck Amuck. I will post a link to that if you want to see it, but I can't show that one because it has copyrighted music. But I'm a huge fan of these early animations in all the individual time periods that they slowly developed. Continue to be amazed by what human creativity can come up with. This is an 11-minute video, and it's just kind of a lot of this, so let me know if you want. If you want me to stop the video feed or not. It's definitely worthwhile. There are probably lots of content creators who have re-uploaded it because it's considered public domain now. Where were we? I am going to design her hands. It looks a little basic to me right now, so I'm going to go in and really flesh it out. Man, I have like a whole list of really good shorts that I could recommend if you're interested more on this side of stuff. I think once I get a couple pairs of hands done and some feet, we might do some either open commission stuff, or I might just do some general doodling. Because I don't know, it's going to be a struggle for me to put her together to rig. Although I'd be happy to give it a shot if you guys want to follow with me actually attempting to learn it. I can't make promises that it'll be fun, but we can try. I do want her hands to be more akin to what you would call, I'm trying to think of a word you guys would know that isn't like industry stuff. We called it hand flipping, which is when there's a bunch of hand poses that you can flip between. It's perfectly okay, man. I will be streaming on Saturday as well, so feel free to swing by if you want. I was probably going to head off in an hour anyway. But I will be streaming on Saturday if you want to swing by again. Best of luck at work, man. I appreciate you coming by. Night, man. It's great having you here. Alright, I'm going to see if I can find some audio for me to play in the background for y'all. Because the sound of my creaking chair probably isn't the most appealing sound in the world. One moment, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It's great to have you here. My name is Sketchframe Studio, and I am currently working on a vtuber model, or at least one of them. It is absolutely phenomenal having you here. I am honestly just excited to be as far along into this as I am. I've been working on it most of the day. So once I get some hand poses done, I think I'll be ready to throw it into the Live 2D software. How are you doing, though? I've got some copyright-free music that'll go up in a second. Hopefully y'all can hear the music. It's a little soft on my end, but we'll find something that'll work. I need to find something that'll really pop out while we're drawing. I don't want lo-fi per se, because I think that's played a lot. There we go. Let me know if you can hear that okay. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to head off for the night, but it was great having y'all here. I will see you on Saturday at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. as always, and have a great night.